Hello and welcome everybody. This is your host, Learvok. And I just had a little burp there. I don't think you guys could have heard that. It didn't pop up on the recording, so I'm gonna assume. Anyway, in the last episode, we killed a lot of people. I'm not quite sure what we accomplished. And we also ended up in an insane asylum for a moment, but then yeah. I'm a little confused on that, too. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to be doing my favorite thing, and that's exploring the mansion.
Oh, yeah.
And meeting the people. So we have Chief here. He just grunts. Riveting conversations here. So let's see who else we have. Housekeeper. I'm assuming that's not her real name. Can't talk to her. I think she makes some off-comment remarks later on. Yeah. She just makes kind of random remarks over time.
You'll never get it. On the water, on my boat, I can just kick back. I ain't getting any.
So we have Frank and Eddie.
I take it easy, you know?
By the way, this is an Italian mafia, so expect the stereotypical names and personalities.
The other way around, Eddie.
You calling my wife an anchor?
She's my sister. I call her whatever I want.
Now you're a fucking mess.
Oh, I love that. Comparing women to an anchor.
Jackie, how you doing?
No, excuse me, you're comparing women to a boat, not an anchor.
Jimmy's got some info already.
How the fuck's that guy?
Comparing,
He's a
not.
goddamn encyclopedia.
Yeah, did I say comparing?
Encyclopedia. Listen to you. Like you ever cracked a book in your life. This fucking guy, right? If he wasn't already married to my sister, I'd have to punish him by introducing him all over again.
You talk shit, but I know we're gonna see you for dinner on Sunday. Hey, Jackie, you say the word, and we're ready to go. We got your back, boss.
Thanks a lot, boys. Now drink up. It's gonna be a long night.
So yeah,
You know
I love the dialogue in this game. This very engaging. It is very engaging dialogue. Albeit a little bit hokey, but it's still very fun. Like you can tell the guys writing this had fun.
I think the guy's fucking nuts. You think the boss is a nut job? What, you don't?
So I don't think the subtitles pop up when you look over the name. So we got Giorgio and Enzo.
What did you say? Oh, hey, Jackie. Looking good, boss.
Jackie, let us know what you need, okay?
Yeah, those two don't seem to be too confident about our abilities. To be fair, I kind of agree with them. I'm a little weary on our abilities too. And now this door is open, so in order to come out here on the terrace, we had to actually talk to them. It's a little bit of a cop out there, but I can understand why. It would be kind of cool to walk up and have them you start hearing them talk, and as you walk, it's like, shh, it's Jackie, cool it. You can still have kind of the same interactions with them. But here we have Mr. Higgins.
Perhaps you could have a word with Master Dolfo. The neighbors have been complaining again. Who'd do such a thing, I wonder? I'm so glad you're still alive, sir.
Thank you, Higgins.
I'm so glad you took care of business, Master Jackie.
He's a good butler. He knows the lingo.
I trust you're well. Who'd do such a thing?
Okay, so he's starting to free himself. Yeah, so I'm going to go through pretty much every dialogue every character has, just as a heads up. This is pretty much going to be its own episode. So right here we have, I believe this is Dolfo. Yep. So, one thing I want to mention real quick. This is my second go-through here, getting this far. And as far as Let's Playing, I did a recording earlier, but I just wasn't happy with it. So I was like, I'll redo it. One of the rare times I'm not happy with my own recordings. At least after 3 episodes in. And right here, we're going to be able to actually pull out a gun and fire at these shots. If I felt like I could plug the controller in without the game crashing, because I'm not sure if it may do that, I would actually take the time to show you the difference between my skills with the controller and my skills with the keyboard, and talk about why the keyboard is superior to a controller as far as first-person games go. First-person shooters, yeah, the ability of moving a mouse. Let me go ahead and explain this real quick. I was doing this, making a figure eight with my hands, and just showing off that you could do that with a mouse. I tried to do that with the controller. It was not working. It was a mess, and I am telling you right now, I was legitimately trying, but the most you can do with a controller is circle, and maybe do straight lines. You can't, like, turn and then go up and around on a dime if you need to. It is not easy to do that with a controller. And I still, to this day, do not understand how anyone... Hold on. Talk to Dolpho. Yeah, back up here. Let's talk to him now. There you go. I'm having some frame rate issues right now. Let's see if we can talk to him again.
Sir.
Huh. Weird. It's not letting us talk to him anymore. Oh, there you go. Okay, so let's see if we'll let us talk to Dolpho now. So yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, talking about the controller.
So let's say you pick yourself up a girl for a date. Before you know it, she's gotten her feelings hurt over something you said, and there's a restraining order, yada, yada, yada. Women are very fucking confusing.
A restraining order?
Life is so crazy. You're better off just not sleeping. This sleep deprivation's just like LSD, but you don't have to pay for it. Fuck. Never did me no harm.
Sort of true, but from what I've been told from colleagues who have experienced it, well, one person I talked to actually said it's like making love to music, which really didn't help his case, because let's put it this way, you ever hear anyone in movies talk about drugs? It is the same thing in real life.
This thing at the restaurant, you set that up yourself? Sounds like a good time.
I think he's talking about the
I
twins.
hear you got yourself blown up. Yeah, attaboy.
Maybe he's not.
People should laugh at a guy just because he's into comic books and video games. I think it's
Amen.
an exercise for the imagination. So don't look so surprised when I rip your fucking nose off because you smiled at me. I know what you're thinking.
I used to not like Dolpho, but then I started reading his dialogue, like listening to his dialogue, and that's something I can agree
I
on.
had this dog when I was a kid, a little poodle called Spunky. The little guy used to go everywhere I went. And when I did time at Leavenworth, he waited for me the whole time I was inside.
Aww, he's like Seymour from Futurama. Oh, I did not catch the last part. I was too.
My dad said to me, Dolpho, he said, whatever happens in your life, don't you ever regret a thing. Be your own man and answer to no one. I thought that was a pretty fucked up thing to say, just as he died of lethal injection.
Well, this is I think we know what kind of family he came from.
If you close your eyes and just imagine how it feels when your lungs fill with blood and your eyes are bugging out and you can't breathe from all the gunshot wounds. People thought more about stuff like that. They wouldn't disagree with me so often.
I'm a little concerned about this guy's well-being.
I think politicians these days ought to be replaced with the mob. At least then your average guy would know where he stands. Or where he sits, depending on whether or not we already shot out his kneecaps.
To be fair, I kind of agree. The mob would probably do a better job than our current politicians.
You know what I never worked out?
If you disagree with me, feel free to, but you can't disagree with statistics right now. Our economy is in the crapper.
Willing to apply for a mortgage.
I completely didn't hear what he said there.
I think if there's a God, he's a reflection of a man's personal desires. For example, my God, he's an old guy with a white beard who drinks Jaeger and watches a lot of John Wayne movies. Good in a fight, too. But that's just me.
I like his God. My God is a Japanese man who dreams of plumbers, knights, and okay. If you haven't figured out, I'm talking about Shigeru Miyamoto. So just hush. Really, that's the first. That's the first thing that pops in my mind when I think of great men worthy of worshiping. If I ever felt the need to worship someone.
So let's say you pick yourself up a girl for a date. Before you know it,
Okay, so he's starting to repeat himself. So we'll sit down and have a drink with him.
Yada yada yada. Women are very fucking confused.
I actually kind of forgot how funny his dialogue
Let's blow off
was.
some steam, huh?
Which is funny because I was talking to this guy just 2 days ago. Okay, so
Boy, Jackie, until you run out of shells. I always do.
okay, so I'm actually doing worse than I did both times with the controller in now,
A couple more.
and before. I was able to get 13 seconds with the controller, 12 with the what was it, 11? 12 or 11 with the keyboard.
Join me?
But you could tell with the controller. I swear to you, I was trying, but I was like all over the place.
Run out of shells.
I was like all over the place with the controller. You could not aim precisely. Oh, sweet. Nice.
Gotta say, that was mediocre.
Well, screw you too, Dolfo. But yeah, and so I don't know if you can get anything. Can you? Oh, there's one relic, so maybe if we do it fast enough. Let me
Hey, wanna join me?
give it one last college try.
Boy, Jack, going to run out of shells. I never get tired.
There we go.
Keep practicing. You can do better than that.
That's probably about as good as I'm gonna get. Which actually wasn't that bad, in all honesty. But I guess if you get lower than 9, lower than 10, he probably gives you some. But anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and okay, there we go. It wasn't letting me run there for a second. Do we stop running after a while? Oh no. But anyway, so let's see, what else do we have? We already checked out the terrace, we talked to Dolfo, we talked to a bunch of the guys. Ooh, I know who we can talk to next. Fat Tony, he's probably in the kitchen. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk to Tony.
Jackie, don't take this the wrong way, but I got a sausage over here with your name on it. See, I knew you'd take it the wrong way.
Man, Fat Tony has some of the best dialogue. He has like some of the best. They're hilarious.
Jackie, you are the fucking hot sauce on the steak that is the Franchetti family. You crazy son of a bitch.
And they're all food-related puns, of course. The fat man with the stains on his shirt is obsessed with food.
You're too thin, Jackie. You don't eat enough good food. There, I said it.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I wonder about all those moments lost in time, like tears in the rain. Then I'm like, fuck it, make a sandwich, it'll be okay.
I like his philosophy. Make a sandwich, it'll be okay.
I love this place. I mean, it makes me happy. It's better than being a miserable thin fuck. Am I right? I went to the opera the other day. That fat Viking bitch had to be the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
Does it say anything else?
Why do people say the world is my oyster? It'd be more realistic if they said the world is my hungry man TV dinner or something.
For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure that's just about anyone who's not in America. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how. Hunger Man TV dinners are an actual thing. I don't know where they're all sold. I do know that along the east coast of the United States, they sold them there. They sold them there in stores. I haven't seen any since I've moved to Texas, but then again, I haven't really looked. So they might have them here. Actually, I'm pretty certain they probably have them here. This is Texas. Everything's got to be big, right?
I had some of that gourmet chocolate the other day, flavored with goji berries and curry spices.
Ick.
Made me shit for a fucking week. I'm gonna find the prick who says that was a good idea and put a fucking Hershey bar right up his ass.
Oh, of course it made you crap for a week. You ate curry powder. Ate something flavored with curry.
See, you can't trust someone who's too thin. Look at Dolfo. What a fucking nutbag. I need some nutrition. Cuckoo! If you drop a piece of bread, you want to know why it always lands butter side down? Because you're a dickhead for dropping perfectly good food, that's why.
Again, I don't know why, but I love his dialogue.
Hey, Babe Ruth. There's a true
I love Fat Tony. It's just something about his...
homos they got in right field these days. They named a candy bar after him.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with baseball, Babe Ruth, I believe, was one of the first famous baseball players, and he was known for actually getting pretty fat later on in his life. I think, if I remember correctly, that actually affected his game.
Jackie, don't take this the wrong way, but I gotta.
Okay, so we're done with this. Yeah, I could be completely wrong with this, just that you know, but this is just, I'm going by what I remember learning as a kid. He was like one of the first guys to get straight home runs, like nothing but home runs for an entire season or something, or almost an entire season. But yeah, so one more thing I want to mention before we leave the kitchen. We here at home, my sister and brother-in-law recently had their kitchen redone, and they decided to do something kind of similar to this, with putting like a tile in the middle of the cabinet area. Though they put a straight up like cabinets left from end to end, completely filling the wall with cabinets. And I gotta say, though the tile that they picked out was perfectly good, this would have been much better. I am well aware that they probably couldn't have afforded that though, because to get something like that would probably have been super expensive. And also I gotta say, I really like the way this kitchen's laid out. You got your stove right here, you got your refrigerator, you got your sink on that little triangle area. The refrigerator isn't at the edge of the bar, like right over here, which is, well, actually kind of still is sort of a problem we have here in this house, but it's a little easier to deal with. Back home, back in North Carolina, in my old house, it was sort of still the same, but the island in the middle that was in front of the refrigerator, seriously, you had like about half this space. You had like the refrigerator take up this, but you could only have like one person walk by, and not while the refrigerator was open. I mean, I guess the same in this kitchen, but I mean, at least in this kitchen you can walk around the island. Back home, you didn't really have that option because the island is hooked up to the wall. So I guess it's more of a bar than an island, but still. Let's see what's here. Freezer handle broke off again and it's jammed. Sorry, Manny. Sorry, Manny P. Excuse me. We got a fully stocked, half-stocked liquor cabinet. Another half-stocked liquor. Actually, those might not be liquors. Those might be like. Oh no, they're liquors. They're supposed to be some type of alcohol. Oh, I thought he was gonna say something more. We haven't even explored the upstairs yet. Wow. we're 20 minutes into this. So you got the bathroom. And a working sink. And we got a mirror that actually shows us moving. One thing I gotta say, and this is something I have a bit of a complaint with all games. It's always a little weird seeing you move it. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather see this than not. But it's always a little weird seeing you move in a mirror because look at how Jackie's moving right now as I'm strafing. It looks natural going left or going right, but not left. 'Cause left is like he's walking back. But really, in real life, your body, you would contort yourself automatically to move left and just keep your head. You'd angle your waist and your hip. You would angle your waist and your legs to move in toward that direction, so it's a more natural feeling. Whereas in games, you don't always get that opportunity to see that. Sometimes, heck, in some games, really good games for that matter, they don't even bother twisting your body at all. The fact that Jackie's body comes pre-contorted in such a way whenever he moves is actually a rather pretty good achievement, considering this isn't even a AAA game.
Hey, boss, you good? Someone's gonna pay for this shit.
I don't think we want to talk to Vinnie quite yet, do we?
Hey, the good news is
you okay.
Jackie magic back. Good to see we're back in business with that thing you do, Jackie. Nothing on that crippled guy yet, boss. No word on our guy at the back door yet, Jackie. I put the word around on that crippled guy. Nothing yet. I don't get it. What do we do to piss anyone off?
we're in a mob family. Just by existing, we piss people off.
Jackie, I need to bust somebody's chops or something. I put the word around on that crippled guy. Nothing yet.
Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, so one thing I want to mention, real quick while this is in mind. Vinnie reminds... I made a joke earlier about Vinnie being our cousin, whether or not Vinnie was our cousin. For those of you that didn't get the joke in the last episode, I'll go ahead and explain it to you. You see, My Cousin Vinnie is a movie that came out in the 70s or 80s. It's a really good little movie about a quote-unquote lawyer, or a guy who's trying to become a lawyer who has to defend his cousin. I believe his cousin is played by Ralph Macchio, the original Karate Kid. Only he's a bit older in this. And Vinnie, I believe, the main character is voiced by is played by Joe Pesci. Yes, that same Joe Pesci. And there's quite a bit of swearing in this movie. But it's a great movie to watch, especially if you just love to see like Joe Pesci talking. Like he just it's hard to describe. It's hard to describe because he's faking being a lawyer, and you can just it's an entertaining movie. Yep, you're seeing me turn on every faucet that we run into. So now that we're upstairs, we actually can not going into our room yet.
What do you mean? You heard the expression?
Got Leo and Butcher and Leo.
Mess with Jackie, and you get those two things of his. I'll take those things over horns any day. I mean, how do you think he took over the whole family so fast in the first place? That fucking thing of his, that's how.
Hey, Butch, Leo.
Hey, boss. We was just talking about you.
That man's beard is glorious.
Let's send a message to these fucks that think they can hit us.
You got that right.
We're ready whenever you need us, boss.
That man's beard is glorious. It puts the completionist's beard to shame. Oh my gosh. For those of you who don't know who the completionist is, and are somehow watching my channel without knowing who he is, the completionist is a guy on YouTube who plays through a game all the way to completion and tells you, basically gives a review and, says whether or not it's worth playing, completing, beating, just doing all this other stuff. He's a very entertaining guy, and I'd recommend watching his videos. They are vastly entertaining, and especially his earlier stuff. As of late, he lost one of his he lost his partner who's been with him since the beginning. I don't know exactly what went on, and I'm kind of not wanting to know because apparently there may have been some bad blood going on between them, and if that's the case, I really don't want to know anymore. But yeah, he's kind of going solo now, sort of. Ooh, picked up a relic. I think I missed that when I first played through this. So this is somebody else's room. I think this is. Well, like I can't say who it is yet. We haven't ran into her. Cool. What else? Did I get out all the other rooms? Yeah. So one thing I want to mention real quick. I have no clue where the other guys are sleeping because we only have 3 bedrooms up here. And one of them's ours, so I have no clue where, Butcher and Leo are sleeping. Freddy and Eddie. I'm imagining this is like one of Vinny's rooms. One of those rooms is Vinny's. So yeah, here we have. This is beginning to become compulsory. And look at ourselves in the mirror. Yep, that is one handsome man. And those luscious locks. Oh. Oh, I was just saying let's turn that one on. Okay, so here we have okay, so you can actually, the mirror itself is the glass itself is a separate texture from, okay. I was wondering that. I was wondering if it was like there was a separate texture behind the glass, or if the glass was the texture. Yeah, I would love to live in a room like this. I have no clue what this little high-rise area would be useful for, but it was still, just I would love to live in this. I would love to have a room like this. Like I love the little waterfall and just everything. Even this here with the little the flames in the back, the flame design at the head of the bed. Not sure if the windows, this is up on the second or third floor of a house. Yeah, I can see that. Second floor of a house. I guess this would be the top floor of a building. I don't know how many houses can you say are built on top of a skyscraper. I can't honestly say many. We get our first real picture of Jenny. She's kind of like the Elizabeth of this game. They spent more time modeling her than they did most of the other characters. Though
down on the tracks.
they spent more time getting her looks just right than they did most of the other characters. So they did a pretty good job with everyone else too.
You torture yourself with her memory, Jackie.
Hey, Aunt Sarah.
Jenny would never have wanted this. It scares me that you're so much like your father, Carlo. He could never let things go.
Aunt Sarah, I'm fine. How many times I gotta tell you?
You're a terrible liar, Jackie.
Sometimes.
Oh, then maybe I shouldn't play cards.
And it's like she's not gone.
But she is gone, Jackie. You buried Jenny years ago.
I know. Listen, Aunt Sarah, thanks for looking out for me. I'm okay,
I like Aunt Sarah. Right? She does something that most people need to do more.
Fine.
That most family members need to do.
Talk about all this. Come see me in my
Say it as it is. Yeah. We'll discuss this some more.
Alright, fine. You want to bust my chops, then let's talk. What do you mean, like my father?
I loved your father. Everyone loved Carlo. He just had that way about him. But before we lost him, he couldn't let things go. He became obsessed, and that obsession consumed him, Jackie. I don't want to see the same thing happen to you.
Obsessed with what?
It's not important. You just have to let go, Jackie. You have to move on with your life.
I am, Aunt Sarah. I am.
You really are the worst liar I've ever met. And I grew up with thieves.
So what then? I'm seeing ghosts?
I don't believe in ghosts, Jackie. But I do believe in being haunted. You need
She's
to
a
man
smart
up
woman,
and let
too.
all of this go.
You're right. How come you're always right?
Comes with age, kiddo.
I'll talk to you later, Aunt Sarah.
You know where to
Like I
find
said,
me.
I like Aunt Sarah. She's awesome. She really is like one of those, like, she's a smart older person who actually knows what they're talking about. Oddly enough, that's not something you see a whole lot of. And I believe I'll go ahead and end the episode off here for now, because I think once we talk to Vinny, we'll be heading back out and doing our next mission. So yeah, in the next episode we'll be doing just that. Until then, I will see you guys later.